So to work on this project, what we're going to do is go into Blackboard into week 13, where in class this week you submitted the transformed election spreadsheet. You submitted your file, and using the download icon here on the right, you can download that information back to your computer. Open it up in Excel and you're ready to start working. We've got some filters set. We're currently filtering on two counties, and we're filtering only governor, and we're sorting by votes. So we played a little bit with formulas today. So we're going to look at two specific features of Excel to help us set up and make it much easier than to have to continually switch our views. So what I want you to do first off is select all. We want to get all of our data back. So remove our two filters so that we're looking at all locality names and all office names. And we're going to use the same two features, and we're going to do it twice. So we're going to select column E, all of our localities, and we'll come up and copy, or right-click copy, or Control-C, however you want to copy. And I want you to go to Sheet 2, and I'm going to go ahead and paste this in. And now we can begin to use our two functions. So I've got the same data on a different sheet, and I'm going to select column A and come over here to the Data tab in my ribbon. And the first thing we're going to do is use Remove Duplicates. I'm going to tell it column A. I'm going to say my data has headers. You notice how that changes the selection here. Tell it OK. And it tells me how many duplicates it found, and 9 remain. So now you can see that I've got one entry for each of the localities in my list. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing for office name. We come over here, copy, go to Sheet 2, and we will paste. Once we've pasted it in, we'll come in and remove duplicates. Now we get asked something different because we have multiple columns of data. Last week we mentioned when we were doing something, we said of course we want to expand it. In this instance we don't. We only want to deal with column B. We don't want to expand to include column A, which we've already removed the duplicates in. We want to continue with our current selection of only column B. Remove duplicates. Same setup again. My data has headers. And tell it OK. And now I've got a list of all my localities and a list of all the possible office names. So that's my first feature, remove duplicates. So the next thing we want to do is, instead of displaying these offices in rows, I want to display them across multiple columns. So what I'll end up with is a table of my counties in rows and my office names in columns, and then we can fill in all the data appropriately. The first thing I want to do is sort these. So I'm going to sort them alphabetically by selecting them, going to my Data tab, and I can quickly get to Sort A to Z. Again, in this instance, I want to continue with my current selection. I have a very specific subset that I want to sort. Sort those. Now they're sorted, what I'll do is I will right-click and copy, and then I'm going to select cell B1. So I've got, you can see the marching ants are still around here. I've copied my list of all possible offices. I've selected cell B1, which has office name. I'm going to go back to the Home tab, and where it says Paste, I've got this drop down with lots of options. And the option I want to use is called Transpose. And you can see just by hovering over it, it shows me what it's going to do. It's going to transpose these from rows into columns. So I click that, And there we go. Everything's in there. Now I can just delete my originals. And so now I've got a list of locality names and a list of offices. And if I want to know how many votes for Essex County there were for Attorney General, I can put that information here, and that's what we're going to do in our next lesson. So, your homework is to follow these steps, get your Sheet 2 looking like this, set up with the counties and the offices, and be ready to go for class next week. The final step to submit your homework is we're back in Blackboard and assignments, week 13. We go to Transformed Election Spreadsheet and we hit Start New Submission. So you'll keep your file from Thursday. This allows me to browse my computer for the file and submit another file. So I've got multiple attempts allowed for this file, and then next week we'll just be sure to use your attempt number 2 with the different date and time on it. That's what we'll download, and we'll start working, and we'll finish up the file next week.